This is the #1 credit card hack to help you boost your credit score. The 15 and 3 rule for credit cards has become the #1 hack to help you increase your credit score. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about.
All right, so if you make a payment 15 days before your credit card is due, and then make another payment 3 days prior, you are tricking the system.
This is interesting.
Just by making 2 payments. And what's it going to do to your credit? Make it go up and it's stuck.
So let's talk about this for a second. So if I make a credit card payment 15 days before my due date, and then I make another credit card payment 3 days before my due date, this is going to boost my credit score immediately by making 2 double payments, because I'm gonna trick the system into believing that I made 2 payments. So it's gonna give me credit for 2 payments. This is pretty crazy. I don't think, that doesn't make any sense to me. Let me explain to you why. So let's start with the due date and how it actually truly works. So your due date is literally the date that is created for you to make some type of payment. This is for the balance that is due for the previous month, not the current month, but the previous month. So when you make 2 payments, it seems like you're doing even more, but you're literally paying down your balances. So this is why people think that this actually works. You could literally just make 1 payment on your due date and clear the balance off, and that's gonna help you. You're not tricking a billion-dollar industry into believing that you made 2 payments into a system that's only designed to take 1 payment and report only 1 payment. The system is built to only report 1 payment. You can actually make as many payments as you want throughout the month. You could literally make 1 credit card payment per day with the majority of the largest actual credit card companies out there. But like really bad, crappy credit cards, if you make more than 1 payment every other day or something, they may charge you fees because they have to process those payments. But big credit card companies, like the top 5, like Capital One, Chase Bank, American Express, Discover Bank, they all want you to make as many payments as you possibly can, because guess what? You're paying your debt back. So let's put this up on the screen. This is an actual payment chart. Now, every payment chart is exactly the same no matter where you look at it. When you look at the payment chart, it's usually for a 2-year history. And when you look at it, each month only has 1 block. It doesn't matter how many payments you make. The only count you're gonna get is 1 positive payment history. So you only get 1 report to the credit reporting agencies to let them know that you did pay on time, and they mark it with the little check mark, or they mark it green and it says okay, and that is it. There's no tricking a billion-dollar system or a credit card company into believing that you made multiple payments. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. But it's important to understand that you must make some type of payment by your due date, because remember, this is for the previous month. If you don't make a payment, you're gonna get a late payment, and that's going to destroy your credit score. You can literally lose all the way up to 120 points for 1 late payment, and they are the most difficult to either reverse or delete from your credit report. But what I truly want you to understand, I want you to understand your statement closing date. This is the telltale of how to truly control your credit score. If you can nail down paying your credit card off 2 days before your statement closing date, and then stop using the credit card for up to 7 days once your statement closing date hits, you can truly control your credit score, because you are controlling your utilization. Credit utilization is the balances that are being reported from only your credit cards. So if you can control this specific category, you are literally controlling the majority of your credit score, because credit utilization makes up 30% of your credit. Now, payment history makes up 35% of your credit. If you can control both of these, you have literally taken control of your credit score, and you control 65% of your credit score. This is how you can truly impact your credit. But if I leave anywhere from 1 to 3% of a balance on my credit card, that should boost my credit, right?
The first month that you get a credit card, please, everybody who's watching this, if this is your first credit card, do not allow that first month to be wasted on reporting a $0 utilization. Because a lot of people get their credit cards and they scared to use it, so they'll just like whatever, like keep it in their pocket or keep it in their wallet. When you activate that card, you typically are going to be mid-cycle, depending on how long your bank took to mail it to you, go get some gas, go buy some chips, go do something so that you have at least 1 to 3% reporting that first time.
She doesn't even tell us why we should do that. So there's this huge myth all across social media. It's always the ones that say they're financial experts, or I work in the finance space, or my favorite, I'm a certified financial board specialist. Like, what? There's no such thing. Where did you get that from? You paid somebody, you answered a bunch of questions, and now you're a financial expert? But does it truly help boost your credit score? Because all these board certified specialists and financial gurus are all repeating the same information. Carry a balance. But the crazy thing about this here is like nobody's talking about the fact that if you carry a balance, guess what? You pay interest. So we're training every one of the people in our audience to carry a balance, and it's okay, but we're not talking about the part where they pay interest. Even if you're carrying a small balance, you're still giving the bank free money. But don't you worry your little heart, I brought proof. We're gonna break it down and see exactly how your score reacts when you do carry a balance, because none of them actually show you proof. They just wanna talk about it, but of course, I'm gonna give you proof. All right, so let's put this chart up on the screen. Now, this is directly from FICO. It's my favorite chart. I call it the myth buster. So let's take a look at this. In the little red box, I circled it right there for you. Now you can see if you report 0 utilization, remember 0 balances, not usage, but 0 balances on your credit cards, you're going to get a maximum of 55 points per that category. Now, the next category is 1 to 6% utilization. So saying that 1 to 3%, it doesn't even exist. But if you carry 1 to 6% utilization, you can get 65 points. There's a little asterisk right next to it. That asterisk represents, the box number represents the maximum points possible minus the actual points that you have already received. So if you already got those extra 10 points, maybe you got 3 points, 6 points, 8 points, or you got the full 10 already, you're not going to get any more points but the maximum of 65 points because everyone's credit profile is different. So to generalize and say that you're gonna get extra points is really a huge far reach. And right here, it's telling us right here, you can get 65 points at maximum, and the only difference is gonna be maybe 10 points if you didn't already receive them. Let's keep this up on the screen right here because I really wanna truly focus on the 0. The 0 is huge. Everyone wants to tell you if you report 0, it reports that you're not using your credit card. False. That is 100% a lie because this is only your balances that are being reported, not your activity or how much you use your card. Of course, you have to use your card at least once every 2 months or 3 months because if you don't use it, the credit card company is going to shut it down because they're going to say, well, you know, you're not using your credit card. Unless it's a credit card that has an annual fee, the credit card company has an incentive to keep it open. They're like, I don't care if he doesn't use it. He's going to keep paying us. But 0 is impactful because it tells any lender that you don't owe anybody any money. You are a very low risk borrower because the FICO scoring system is all completely designed for risk. How much of a risk are you to any lender, and should they let you borrow money? You need to lower your risk as much as you possibly can. And on top of that, why would we want to give the banks any free money? Even if you're leaving a $5 balance or $10 balance, you're still paying interest. There's no need to do that. And credit cards are not meant for you to carry balances. They're not meant to be a life support system. They're meant for you to use them and pay them off in full every single month. The big reason why people's credit scores are completely destroyed and their credit scores stay low is because they're carrying balances and consistently reporting them. You know, you've probably heard the other myth that you can carry up to 30% utilization or report up to 30% balances. No, it's not true because the moment you cross that threshold, as you can see, of 6%, you start to lose a few points here and there. The moment you cross the threshold of 7% utilization, you start to lose more points. Once you get in that bracket of 20 to 49 points, you are losing a significant amount of points because now you are sending a signal to all of the FICO system that you are a high risk borrower because you are in fact carrying higher balances. But what I do want you to do is I want you to focus on your statement closing date. Now, make sure that your due date is set to have an auto payment that's gonna at least make the minimum payment. Or you can pay it off in full if you want to also. But your statement closing date is truly what controls your credit score. Let's put this up on the screen right here. This bank statement from Capital One. The actual square rectangular marking right there in the red, that is your statement closing date. The second date is your statement closing date. Now you can actually call the credit card company and ask them to move your statement closing date if you like. A bunch of my credit cards are all set to close on the first of the month. That's when the statement closing date ends. And then the other ones are in the middle of the month. Because the reason why I do this is once those credit cards close, I stop using them. What I do is, as an example, my date here is January 22nd. I pay off my credit card all in full completely 2 to 3 days before my statement closing date hits. So now the balance is paid off 2 days or 3 days before that, then the 22nd of every month hits and it closes. Now, once it closes, I stop using the credit card for up to 7 days because the credit card company has 3 to 7 days to report your balance to the credit reporting agencies. And I want them to report 0 because I want to show that I am a low risk borrower. And the more consistently you do this, the more your score will grow and you will squeeze out every point that you can from your credit score. But of course, remember, you can potentially squeeze out a little bit more points if you report between 1 to 6% utilization. But is it worth it to you to pay that interest? Whether it be small interest or large interest, understand they are milking you for every single cent or dollar that they possibly can. And I just don't like giving away free money. Control your utilization. This is the #1 secret credit card hack. If you can control your utilization, you are taking full control of your credit score and nobody can stop you except for yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We will see you back on the channel on Monday. Now make sure you watch this next video because it is the top 5 ways to increase your credit score. And if you feel that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.